Alright, welcome back to Crochet. Today I'm going to show you how to add elastic to a skirt. So here I've got this skirt project that I'm working on. It's not finished yet, I haven't woven in all of my ends, but I have been working on adding elastic to my waistband. So what you need for this project is your skirt, whatever skirt you're working on, leaving the last few rows unworked because that's where we're going to add the elastic. So in this skirt I've already added 4 rows that have elastic in them. So what you're going to need is your skirt. This is just round cord elastic. Now if you use this kind, you are going to have little knots that you might be able to see or feel that poke out of your skirt. If you're worried about that, then you can instead buy thin flat elastic and then sew it together with a sewing machine or by hand, and that will have a much flatter seam. But make sure it's thin, like 1/16 inch. Well, I don't know if they make 1/16, 1/8 inch, maybe up to a 1/4 inch, but then you're going to get kind of thick for crocheting over. So I've already put 4 pieces in here. I've got one more piece that I'm going to add because if you just do one piece of elastic, it kind of bunches weirdly at the top and that just doesn't look nice. So I recommend 4 or 5. And as far as sizing goes, if it's a skirt for you, the best thing to do is just kind of tie a temporary knot and try it on. It should slip over your hips reasonably easily and not squeeze your waist too tight, but you know, be tight enough that it's going to hold it up. So this is, and if you don't if you're not the person who's going to wear the skirt, then you can just estimate that you can make this elastic like a couple inches smaller than the waist measurement, and it should work okay. So for this one, I've done 4 rows of elastic using half double crochet, and for my very last row I'm going to do just single crochet because it's shorter and the elastic is going to be at the base of the stitch. So if you do a shorter stitch, it's not going to be kind of wonky at the top. I could still do half double crochet and it would work okay. I just prefer to finish it with a shorter stitch. You could even do slip stitch if you want, but then you risk slip stitches tend to be tighter, so you want it to still be stretchy enough to fit over. So I'm going to do single crochets. This first chain one doesn't count as a stitch, so I'm just going to hold this. If you've worked color work like tapestry crochet, it's just like that. We're going to work over this as if it was another piece of yarn. So I'm going to work into the same stitch I just came out of, and I'm just going to work right over that elastic. So just as if it's not even there. Work right over the top of it and it will get hidden in by the yarn. And now as far as colors go, the only colors I could find for this particular elastic was black or white. So if you have a color that doesn't really go well with black or white, then it's going to show a little bit. However, it's not going to show that much. Also, I think I mentioned this already, but make sure you tie it in a loop before you start so that you can just work continuously around. You don't have to worry about where it is. So you just keep working over that elastic loop, almost as if it's not even there. And I recommend when you first measure your elastic and you get your one piece the right size, then cut your other ones right then so they're all the same size, so you don't have to wonder, oh, did I make that looser or tighter or whatever. So just a tip that I've learned from experience. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because it's all the same. So you can see this cord is snugly stuck inside my skirt, and as I keep working around, it's going to get hidden all the way. You can't even really see that cord underneath there. You will, the only thing you'll be able to see really is that knot, maybe a little bit. So like here's one of my knots. You can kind of see it, and it pokes out a little bit. Now this particular, my daughter just sneezed, this particular skirt I know I'm going to wear like leggings or tights under because it's made of granny squares, so I'm not so worried about that not being uncomfortable. But if you are, you can use thin flat elastic and sew it together. So that is how to add elastic to a skirt.